Good morning, all of you. So, in the last lecture, we discussed the effect of leaving group on the elimination reactions. And so, as the size of the leaving group goes on increasing, the percentage of the Hofmann's product goes on increasing. With smaller leaving groups, Sedge's product is predominant, but whereas the highly bulky groups gives you the Hofmann's product. So, the second factor that we want to see, that is what is the effect of base on the elimination reaction. So, as the size of living group, as the size of attacking base, as the size of attacking base increases, the Hopper's product predominates. Why this thing happens? Because the transition state for Sedzef's elimination, transition state for the Sedzef's elimination becomes more crowded, becomes more crowded. And so when the base attacks the beta hydrogen, and when it is supposed tends to give the Sedgwick's product, if the size of the base goes on increasing, the attack of the base on the beta hydrogen to give the highly substituted product, the crowding increases. And crowding, as the crowding increases, the Hopman's product predominates because it gives the less substituted alkene as a major product. So here, for example, if we see that this 2-bromobutane, in 2-bromobutane, if we add a base, and you will get the formation of the two products, that is 1-butene plus 2-butene, 1-butene and 2-butene. So here this is the 1-pentene and this is 2-pentene. Sorry, 2-butene, 2-butene, 1-butene and 2-butene. So 2-butene is obtained according to the Sedzef's rule, and 1-butene is obtained according to the Hofmann's rule. And if you change the size of the base for this reaction, if the base used is ethoxide, means the size of the attacking base is less. So what is the difference in the Sedzef's and the Hofmann's product? Hofmann's product. So here you get 70% Sedzef's product and 30% Hofmann's product. But as the size of the base increases from ethoxy to trimethoxy, tertiary butoxide ion, tertiary butoxide ion, here you will get 28% Sedzef's product and 72% Hofmann's product. So in this way, this triethoxy ion gives you 20% Sedzef's product and 80% Hofmann's product. So as the size of the attacking base increases, as the size of the attacking base increases, Hofmann's Hofmann's product predominates, means increases, predominates or increases. This is because the transition state becomes more crowded for the Sedzef's product. So here if you see that this RCHH CH2, sorry, CHX CH2H. Here if the base attacks this proton, this beta hydrogen atom, that is beta dash, and this is beta. So here you are going to get the transition state in which R C H B, CH, CH, X, CH2, H. And so this transition state, when the beta dash hydrogen is eliminated. And here if we see RCH2, CHX, here this is beta dash and here this is beta. The base attacks here, and in this way, here by eliminating beta hydrogen atom, the transition state which is obtained here in this way, here the crowding is more, means the transition state is crowded, means that is a cluster, and here the transition state is less crowded, less crowded, and as this is less crowded, needs less energy of activation, needs less energy of activation, and here it needs more energy of activation, more energy of activation. And so when it needs more energy of activation, it's going to become less, and this here is going to become more stable. This is the more stable state as it is less crowded, and so the Hofmann's product is obtained, and here you are going to get the Setzer's product. Setzer's product. So the RCH double bond CH CH3, this will be obtained as a minor product, and here this RCH double bond, sorry, CH2 CH double bond CH2, this will be obtained as a major product. Means depending upon the energy of activation which is going to be decreased in the this elimination, that is the beta hydrogen elimination, giving you the Hofmann's product. So here it's the most stable product that is obtained in this reaction. And so here we conclude with the Hop, two types of products which are obtained, that is the Hofmann's product and Setzer's product, that is the major and minor. When in which situation we will get the Hofmann's product as a major product and Setzer's product as a major product, that we can decide depending. So what is the main thing or the uh, important concept that you are supposed to keep in your mind? As size of leaving group increases, as size of base increases, as size of base and leaving group increases, and transitions. So here as the size of the leaving group increases or the size of the base increases, Hofmann product, Hofmann's product predominates. Hofmann's product is major or it predominates, and the Setzer's product in to get the Setzer's product, the energy of activation needed is high or is more, and so the Hofmann's product is obtained as a major product and this is obtained as a minor product. That is, Setzer's product is obtained as a minor product. So here we conclude with the E2 elimination. The next reaction that we want to consider, that is the E1 mechanism. E1 mechanism, that is nothing but elimination unimolecular. Elimination unimolecular. So in general we have studied the reaction that the E1 elimination is a two-step mechanism. It's a unimolecular reaction, a two-step reaction, and here the unsaturated compound is obtained as a major product. And so here we will consider an example of 2-bromo-2-methyl-butane, 2-bromo-2-methyl-butane. So here CH3, CH2, C, CH3, CH3, Br, that is 2-bromo-2-methyl-butane. And so if you carry out the reaction with the strong base, that is sodium ethoxide, in presence of ethanol, here again this is alpha carbon, this is beta carbon, this is beta dash. So here you are going to get the product, that is CH3, CH double bond C, CH3, CH3, that is 2 methyl 2 butene plus NaBr plus ETOH. So here the kinetics of this reaction indicates that rate is directly proportional. The kinetics of this reaction indicates that rate is directly proportional to the concentration of substrate, that is 2-bromo-2-methyl butane. And so it follows the first order kinetics. And so the reaction involves two steps. So in these two steps, the first step, that is the slow step and the rate determining step, involves the heterolytic bond fission of the C alpha bromine bond. C alpha bromine bond. So here CH3, CH2, CH3, CH3, Br. And so in the first step, that is the slow step, and it is termed as your rate determining step. Here you are getting the formation of a carbocation as an intermediate. And so just like your substitution nucleophilic unimolecular, the carbocation is stabilized by the inductive effect, because the three electron donating groups are present, and again this can give you 8 hyperconjugative structures. And here the heterolytic bond fission means this bromine bond is broken, and due to the solvation effect, and only alkyl halide molecule is involved in the rate determining step. That's why it is termed as your unimolecular reaction. In the second step, in the second step, here it involves the abstraction of proton, that is the beta hydrogen, abstraction of the beta hydrogen. So the here beta dash hydrogen is abstracted by the base ETO minus, abstracts the proton and gives you the formation of the product, that is the elimination product. And here you are getting the alkene, that is CH3CHC, CH3, that is 2 methyl 2 butene, 2 methyl 2 butene as a product. And so it's a two-step mechanism. So what are the things that we can observe in this? So in the first step, the formation of the carbocation is taking place. The first step is slow and the second step is fast. So what can happen here? We say that the elimination is occurring, but the intermediate which is obtained, it can combine with the sodium ethoxide, it can combine with the nucleophile sodium ethoxide and give you a substitution product. So here it can give you a substitution product also. Means this is also the possibility. Then second, it can also rearrange. it can also rearrange to a more stable carbocation, to a more stable carbocation. Means if the structure of the carbocation permits and there may be a chance to get converted, so now here we are getting a tertiary carbocation, so no doubt it's more stable. But if the substrate forms a primary carbocation, and if there is a chance it can get arranged to the secondary carbocation, if there is a formation of secondary carbocation, and if there is a chance for the migration, it can form a stable tertiary carbocation, and so this can also undergo the rearrangement. And the third possibility for this, that the elimination of beta hydrogen atom to form an alkene, to form an alkene, means here the three things that are happening here. Either the reaction can give substitution product, or the reaction can give the get a rearranged product, or it can undergo the elimination. But these are the three possibilities that are going to take place in this reaction. And so in this, which step is more favorable, either substitution nucleophilic unimolecular or the elimination? So if the product, see here, CH3CH2, CH3 CH3, this is the carbocation, and if the ETO minus acts as a nucleophile, so here it will give SN1 reaction, and you will get the product, that is CH3 CH2 CH3 CH3 OET. OET means here this is the substitution product, and this gives the elimination product that we have seen, that is the CH3CH H ETO minus abstracts this proton, gives you the substitution, elimination product, and you get 2-methyl 2-butene as a product. So this is the elimination product. So here we are having a chance to get, if the structure permits, you can get rearrangement, or you can get substitution product, or you can get elimination product. So what is the chance for this, that which product may be obtained? That depends upon the substrate molecule. Now when we say that the reaction proceeds by even reaction only, or the even mechanism, so what are the evidences that you are saying that the reaction takes place by even mechanism only? So the evidences for even mechanism means whether the reaction proceeds by even, why it proceeds by even, what are the evidences, or what are the proofs that we have studied. So the first thing, that is, there is no kinetic isotope effect, no kinetic isotope effect. So we have studied the kinetic isotope effect in SN2 reaction. In E2 mechanism. In E2 mechanism, the breaking of the C beta hydrogen, formation of C alpha C beta pi bond, breaking of C B alpha leaving group bond, this all things are taking place simultaneously in this same, in the one step. And so it's a bimolecular reaction, proceeds with all these things. The two bonds are broken and one new bond is formed. But here in the, and that's why it shows some kinetic isotope effect. But here in even mechanism, only the breaking of carbon leaving group bond takes place, that is the C alpha leaving group bond takes place in the slow step. And so the rates of the two different reactions with the isotopes changed in the substrate. So here the 2-methyl 2-bromopropane on reaction with sodium ethoxide as a base, and the rate of this reaction was studied, CH2C CH3. Here 2-methyl propene is obtained as a product, and in the second molecule all the hydrogens were replaced by the deuterium, that is the isotope, and the reaction was carried out, and the rate of the reaction was studied, and it was found that the experimentally this both the rates are same. Both the rates of the reactions were found to be the same. Sorry, here C CD3 and double bond CD2. So here the KH, the rate of protonated substrate and the rate of deuterated substrate was found to be equal. This indicates that the breaking of CH bond or the CD bond is not taking place in the slow step, is not taking place in the slow step, and so it does not affect the rate of reaction. And the second evidence for this, that is the structural effect. Structural effect. So thank you very much. We will continue with this point in the next lecture.